friends. My name is Jason Burrell. I'm a teacher and assistant director here at the School of Visual Arts and Design at the University of Central Florida in Orlando, Florida. Welcome to the UCF Art Gallery. This month we have the faculty exhibition for 2020. It showcases some of the creative teachers who help make the dreams come true for our students here in Central Florida as they pursue creative careers. The exhibition opens with the work of Chuck Abraham. He teaches and works in the graphic design and illustration curriculum here at UCF. He's worked for George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, PBS, and Marvel Comics. His expertise and professionalism and industry experience are profound. Over here you can see illustrations. They're mostly made digitally, but sometimes they combine pencil and non-digital processes that then are translated into a digital realm and finished electronically for commercial reproduction. They are projects illustrating proposals and designs for clients here in the Central Florida area. We have the work of our colleagues Larry Cooper. UCF is proud to have a book arts program, one of the few programs in the nation to have book arts. This is a Starr book. You can see when you look from slightly above how it folds together as a book, but then opens up into the form of a sculpture. And Larry's working from personal narrative about his own journey, cognizant of the viewer's experience with layers of paperwork. It's very complex, handmade, a beautiful, crafted sculpture form. Our colleague Robert Reedy has been working with his continued collage style, whether it's in sculpture, collage, or painting. In this case, multimedia, combining cutouts from magazines, hand-painted, hand-drawn elements, hand-sculpted elements, all brought together in these vitrines. And it showcases his experience, his journey from growing up in Mississippi, in the south of the United States, and the journey from tornadoes to development to his life here in Florida as well. Our colleague Robert Rivers, the coordinator for our drawing program, a 30-year veteran of the university, has produced a massive, stellar work for the faculty show this year. It is part of a piece that extends over 200 feet long. This is just a small snippet of it. And you can see how it contains elements of narrative, personal biography, storytelling, but then just the joy and the beauty of drawing and art making, combining both painting and handwriting and drawing skills. Our colleague Hadi Abbas has been busy working with the kilns here at UCF and at his own home, making beautiful potted pieces where he works with a very organic, rich, and thickly layered glazes that produce these complex works that really capture a sense of wabi in the organic, the handmade, the natural form, combined and contrasted by the precision of his craftsmanship. Robert Hoekstra has been producing his works with bronze and glass, commissioned out at foundries, and they continue to tell the story of people and relationships. Our dear colleague Victor Davila has been continuing his work as an illustrator and graphic designer in the Central Florida area, as a leader of this area. And he's done a beautiful job. He's sharing his own personal sketchbook. And as you flip through this book, when you arrive, you can see you can see his thought process emerging. You can see how he has to make a lot of drawings, a professional practice, to develop beautiful, funny, creative, inventive, unprecedented stories, concepts, and characters. In the back of the gallery where we are now, we have the work particularly of our architects, showcasing some 3D modeling and conceptual pieces, and then some finalized projects. Here's the work of Matthew Johnson, who teaches out at our Valencia West campus in our Bachelor of Architecture degree, and these are beautiful residential designs, modernist, clean, elegant, inspiring architecture. The wall opposite, Tommy James, another architecture faculty working out at the Valencia West campus, and his work that was built for IAPA, the International Conference on Theme Park and Entertainment and Theme Design. Their global headquarters is now located here in Orlando, and Tommy was the architect who designed their own headquarters. This is a great honor, a piece about architecture for a company that deals with architecture and design experience, chose a UCF faculty member to make their own headquarters. Back around the corner, we have the work of Keith Kovach. Keith is a multimedia artist, combining many different technologies with his creative ideas and experiences. He's won many grants to travel the world. And so he works in photography, he works in technical scientific photography, sometimes he works in creative photography sometimes. These are documentary photographs from archaeological sites in Europe. But he also works with 3D design, 3D renderings. These are models that he's using, where he's showcasing repetition, cut and paste, animation, 3D printing, artistry, but they also have emotional tone. Keith is one of the faculty members who teaches in our emerging media curriculum so successfully because of the breadth of those skills. It's not just how to use the software, but the point of using the software. A human being is the recipient of your design, and you need to count for their intelligence and their emotional capacity, even as you use the latest technology. We have the work of Justin Nolan behind me. He is a photographer working out of the Bachelor of Science in Photography at the Daytona campus, and his photographs about the spaces we build for ourselves, how we might not notice these spaces because we go there to interact with people, but these spaces, if you can photograph them without people, capture a moment of profound beauty and revelation, but also silliness and beauty and bleakness all at the same time. And this contrast of emotions, this contrast of meaning in the imagery can give one pause. You can see more things after looking at the photographs of Justin Nolan. On the wall next to it is the work of Ashley Taylor. Ashley is a printmaker, book artist here in our program, and you can see her works that deal with personal point of view and commentary on our political situation. Here's we're in an election year. And she participates in this grand tradition of printmaking and imagery dating back several hundred years to satirical imagery, cartoon imagery, but they're exceptional prints with great craftsmanship and rich possibilities for publication in them. Brooks Dierdorff is a colleague who teaches in the photography program here at the Orlando campus. You can see here how he's working off of the landscape as a source of imagery. He's taking imagery taken from the United States government as it documents landscape and national parks. And then Brooks is assembling this imagery into collages and three-dimensional sculptures and creating a sense of question, of journey through imagery. In this case, I believe we're looking at imagery from the Mount St. Helens explosion and with the breaking of tree trunks and the story it tells, but it also creates this beautiful pattern. And Brooks is complementing those natural forms with his own collage and cutting. Here we have the work of Amer and Kobaslija, a faculty member who teaches in the painting curriculum, and you can see he is combining several different explorations. His famous work that is exhibited around the world regarding studio spaces and domestic interiors, the creative spaces of an artist, and he's been exploring the landscape and the character of Florida in these studies of personalities and stuffed figures, but also his own daughter and the way she brings her toys into his studio as well. And so in the wall here we see a series of images that really capture the complexity of being human, from our intimate personal relationships to our relationship to the space we walk through. It's all captured here in oil paint on board. Kevin Durant has been working with imagery based upon his own family's experience with warfare. His father was an officer in the United States Army, an artillery officer. He had brothers to serve in Vietnam, and the imagery from that time, particularly one of his brothers was on a C-130 airplane here created in sculptural form by Kevin Haran on his breakfast table, using elements from his own life, collages, the surface is collaged with packages, mailings, envelopes, that he receives, so it crosses over formal sculpture and pop art sensibilities. Over here we have the work of Byron Clercx, sculpture faculty member, and we can see him here experimenting with materials very richly. He layers up different types of materials, he sands them back down, paints them back over again, and so at one hand we have this reality of intense chemical relationships, strong chemicals, enamel paints, but they also look like flowers. They're also blossoming. It's a joyous color palette, but it's also concerning chemistry, a complex response to 21st century life. Professor Debi Starr is making portraits, and I hope you get a detailed shot of this with her rich dot making and her lovely sense of family and friends, her primary subject matter, and it has a sense of just the joy and wonder of life in the work and how we connect with people, how this brings a sense of fullness to experience. Scott Hall His father was a NASA engineer, brings his youthful interest and energy in musical instruments and his creativity, but also a family background in the sciences, to experimental instrument making. He sells his instruments around the world to orchestras across the planet, and he sampled us here with a very minimal but incredibly elegant design for new types of musical instruments. We end our tour today with my colleague Harlow Poindexter, who is making a series of drawings that are also a little bit like paintings, and they capture her own personal iconography. Her relationships are described and examined and meditated upon as she shows the interactions of the various forms she designs. This is not just something that might be a teapot, but it might represent a person in her life. And that is next to something that might look like airplane propellers, but that represents another person in her life. And so these rich experiments in this simple, elegant form that we're all adapting to as we deal with the COVID virus and our self-isolation and quarantining, is our creativity is still unstopped. We're still strong as a faculty. We're all learning to teach remotely and being successful at it. Well, friends, thank you for joining us today on this walkthrough of the UCF Art Gallery faculty exhibition. We did not see everything. There are still some more faculty works and friends and colleagues to explore here. We hope you'll come by to the physical installation at the UCF campus. If you're unable to, we do have a wonderful continuation of this virtual tour through our online website. Please search for the UCF Art Gallery. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for spending some time with us.